Hey guys, welcome to the channel and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to explain you a little bit about certain metrics you can keep track of to understand if crypto is in a bull market or a bear market. Should you enter the market or should you take profits, or what is the current situation? Okay. First up, a simple metric that I regularly use, it is called as fear and greed index. Okay. So you can just go to Google and type fear and greed index crypto, and you will be taken to this page. Right now, if you see, the index is at 13 out of 100. So lower the value, more the fear. Okay, so if the value is around 70 or 80, it means the market is in complete greed. At the moment, the market is in extreme fear, right? Everyone is panic selling. Bitcoin is crashing. Let's go down and have a look at the historical data. Let me look at the max, right? Like the full chart. Okay, as you see here, in 2018, right, all these months like October, November 2018, we had the fear and greed index around the 10 to 15 mark. Market was still in extreme fear. After that, Bitcoin came out of the bear market and then it started to again go on an uptrend. And then this March 2020, where again it was back to the sub 15 values, was obviously during the COVID pandemic, right? During that COVID crash. And as you see, last April, potentially around that time, or even before that, even in Feb, the crypto fear and greed index are already gotten to 86. So market was in extreme greed, right? So I think this was the time when Bitcoin was around 40-45k, like early last year. So this would have been a great time for you to take some of your profits. After that, again in last summer, as you see, we had a big crash, and May, June, we again spent time in the fear zone. As you see, again would have been a great time to ladder in and enter some position in Bitcoin. And again we had the pump as Bitcoin went back, I think it was in October or November, back to 67k. It breached its previous all-time high. And again, as you see, in that time, November, it was extreme greed, right? The index was way above 70. Again, would have been a good time to take profits. Now we are back in the fear zone again, as you see, extreme fear zone. And when we go back to the 2018 time, as you see, I think from November, probably for like 4-5 months, we spent time in the sub 20 region. So there is a possibility we could do that as well. But for the long term, if you really believe in the Bitcoin story, these are the times to add in, like, SIP format, even just $10, $20 a month. That could give you outsized returns when the next Bitcoin bull market returns, or when the next big Bitcoin uptrend starts. Okay. So usually whenever it goes below 20, right, when market is in extreme fear, add small positions for Bitcoin. Be careful about other coins. I'm talking only about Bitcoin. So this is a good metric to keep track. Okay. The second metric that I use is called as Google Trends. Okay. You can go to trends.google.com, and for example, you want to look at Bitcoin, you can just search for Bitcoin. Okay. I'm just looking at India, for example, and I look at past 5-year data. Okay. As you see here, there is some funny correlation that we can see. So the interest for Bitcoin was very high between December 10 to 16, 2017. And similarly in, as you see here, May 9 to 15, 2021, right? These were two times where the interest really has peaked. Let us go to Coin Market Cap. This is a website I use to look at prices. Just scroll down and go to the Bitcoin chart. Okay, I'll put all-time chart. So you see here, so in 2017-18, Bitcoin had its highest value around 14 December, right? Or 14 or 15 December roughly. And when you go back here, this was exact same week. The Bitcoin interest peaked at almost the same time the price peaked back in 2017-18. Similarly, if you see this peak, it was around May, and you notice here it was in May that Bitcoin had like reached close to its all-time high last year, and it was on the brink of breaking down, right? Even if you had sold it around this region, 56-57k, you would have been in really good profit. But if you had waited just 2 or 3 more weeks, it would have been already down to 32,000. Again, this is not a foolproof method, but whenever there are local peaks in this graph, Bitcoin does tend to, top out, in the sense, it's somewhere close to its all-time high, and this signals that there is a possible correction coming. Right now, if you see, interest is pretty low, so we are nowhere near the top, right? We are actually in a very much a downtrend. So yeah, keep an eye for this metric as well. It might help you sometimes. Not the most foolproof, but something to look at. Okay. The third thing that I want you guys to know is cryptocurrencies are very volatile. Okay. I'll just illustrate a chart to show you what are the risks involved with investing in cryptocurrencies and why you should have higher risk appetite for this kind of investment. Okay. I'm going to trading view and I'm looking at the Bitcoin index, like the historical index. Okay. Again, let us look at the data. For example, back in 2018 when it topped out, as you see, the all-time high value was around 19,000, right? It touched like around $19,000 as you can see here, and it came down crashing all the way down to $3,500. So it literally crashed more than 80% in the last bull market. So if you had bought the top around 19,000, you might have lost 80% of your investment, right, when the crash happened. Similarly, even last year, right, when it topped out around, as you see, I think close to 64k, and in the summer of 2021 you had a crash. Let me just check how much the crash was. From the top here, as you see, let me just drag this down. From the top here, yeah, we crashed almost 55% last year. Again, if you had entered at the top, you might have lost 50-55% of your investment within a few months. Again, after a silent phase, it did bounce back, and it even breached its previous all-time high. But again, from that all-time high, if you see, I think it is crashed again. What now? Again, another 57-58%, right? And when we compare it with the previous cycle, basically, as I told you, it crashed from 20,000 to 3,000 here, right? So 80%, 70% corrections are very common in Bitcoin. Only if you're in for the long haul, like 4 years, 5 years or longer term, it's a good investment, and it's a like a much better return compared to many other instruments that we have for investing. Okay. So when you enter Bitcoin, you have like long-term picture, at least 5-6 years, because short-term volatility is extreme and you might actually get yourself wrecked, lose even 80% of your money. So be very, very careful with that. One last point that I want to demonstrate is about other coins. So a lot of people get into this craze of entering random coins, thinking that they will pump 10 times, 20 times, 100x and all that. Be very, very careful. I'll again illustrate an example here of like a coin which is in the top 10. Okay. For example, look at Cardano. Okay. Bitcoin by itself can crash 80%, right, in a bear market. Let's see how much Cardano could potentially crash, right, based on historical data. I'll go to all. You see, in the 2018 cycle, Cardano topped out around $1, right? Here, as you see, it touched about $1, 1.1 roughly, and the crash came, and if you see, it literally went to like 0.04, 0.03. That's potentially a 97% or 98% drop from the top, right? Imagine you had put like 10,000 rupees, something like that. You would have literally lost 9,800 rupees or 9,700 rupees. Like you would have been completely wrecked. Okay. That is the risk with entering altcoins, especially when you're entering near the top. However, the good thing is once they enter a bear market, as you see, there was a lot of consolidation. If you see all these months, right, from starting from like say early 2018 all the way to, I guess, yeah, even April 2020, the price didn't move much at all. Like lot of opportunity to add in small quantity if you wanted, and in the next bull run, so you see from 0.03 it went bang all the way up to almost $3, almost 100x, right? That is the point with altcoins. Again, from here the top, it has now crashed what, from $3 to almost 50 cents. So another 85% crash is already done. Okay. The risk of entering altcoins like Cardano now is it might give another mini pump, right? From 0.5, it might go to 0.7, 0.8, but again, it might come back down to 0.2, 0.3. In that case, again, you might lose 60%, 70% of your money. Okay. So it is always good to wait for investment in altcoins when you see this kind of consolidation where the price is hardly moving for a few months, and at the same time, the Bitcoin price has attained a potential bottom, right? That will be a great place to enter some of these altcoins, and you might get outsized returns in the next bull market. However, keep one thing in mind very clearly: some of these altcoins will potentially never come back. Okay, you also have to be aware of that. So don't put a lot of money in altcoins, maybe 3 or 4% max, 10% of your portfolio when you're starting out, because you might get completely wrecked. Okay, and few of you might have heard of the story of Luna, right? The crash that happened last week. I know a lot of people who literally lost 20-30,000. It got wiped out, right? It crashed 99.99% literally in a matter of, like, I think, what, 3 days. As you see, from the top of $110, it's at 0.000. I mean, I don't even know how many zeros are here, but it's crashed more than 99.9%. That's the other risk with altcoins. That is why please don't put a lot of money in altcoins. If you want to get exposure to crypto, start with Bitcoin. That itself is volatile, but at least it's a little safer, and it will at least stay the test of time. Okay. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you again in another video. Till then, take care. Bye.